I'm going last, and I'm listening to a lot of great ideas that are here today. So we have a lot to think about. I know I certainly have a lot to think about. And some of what's been brought up, I too will bring up these ideas. So I'm Leslie Wilson. I'm Dean of the David W. Wilson College of Business at the University of Northern Iowa. UNI is proudly the alma mater of one of our longest serving senators, and that's Senator Charles Grassley. And I will say my husband and his coffee club have coffee at a particular location every morning, and oftentimes he is right there with them in the same room, not at the same table, but having coffee at that location. What I like even better is the fact that his wife is a graduate of the business college with a degree in accounting, which accounting today recognizes UNI as having the highest CPA pass rate in the nation. So very proud of the work that we're doing. Thank you to the Aspen Institute. Thank you to Rutgers for inviting me to speak today, share my perspectives on the role of higher education, and especially regional public universities like UNI in the advancement of employee ownership as a business model. Regional public universities, which you may or may not know, are really economic engines for the regions in which they reside. 70% of all undergraduates go to regional public institutions. Okay? We have a huge impact on our regions, on our states. Now in Iowa, small to medium-sized businesses generate almost 46% of Iowa employment. And in rural counties, that is closer to 55%. Nationally, as you guys probably know, 75% of business owners want to retire in the next 10 years, and Iowa's silver tsunami makes that percentage even higher. However, as you also know, for those businesses that want to sell, only about 20 to 30% of those businesses will actually find a buyer. More often, it's going to be closing the door. Those sold often move assets to different communities. They become absorbed, and they're gone out of the community. We lose employees engaged in the community, supporting our schools, providing leadership, spending locally. They're gone. The impact on rural communities is a downward economic spiral. Many of you are from Midwestern states where you're seeing this going on. And for Iowa, most of Iowa is rural. Even our urban areas aren't urban like you guys from New York think about, okay? We're much smaller. Supporting economic growth through teaching, through research, and through outreach is a key component of the Wilson College mission. We talk about this, we articulate this. Employee ownership is now a tool to support this mission. Our first business college dean, Robert Waller, yes, author of Bridges of Madison County. You never thought that a business dean could write a romance novel, but it happened. Actually started research, or started our outreach programs, such as our Institute for Decision Making, to support economic development in Iowa communities. Today, this work resides in a unit associated with the business college called Business and Community Services. Our outreach unit has an annual impact exceeding $30 million annually, engaging in projects in all 99 Iowa counties and 37 states. We're not just in Iowa. We've built on that success by launching the Iowa Center for Employee Ownership to become the 21st state center in Employee Ownership Expansion Network. The Ford and Kauffman Foundations have invested in our efforts, recognizing that our unique portfolio of business-focused centers are effectively responding to Iowa business needs. We've already heard one big idea today is closing the awareness gap, and that is the mission of our Iowa CEO. We're determined to do that. Research can also play a very important role in impacting employee ownership. Research provides insight to all facets of employee ownership. It impacts classroom teaching, and it helps policymakers understand how policy and law can advance this business ownership model and keep small and medium-sized businesses inside their communities. Rutgers Institute for the Study of Employee Ownership and Profit Sharing provides leadership in advancing that research, and we have partnered with Rutgers and the Ford Foundation to support our faculty extending their research into employee ownership. And how might that be an opportunity to look at ways at simplifying the process of getting there? Tammy's idea. Our third mission component, and the most important to me, is teaching. At UNI, 70% of our graduates begin their careers in the state of Iowa, with many finding employment in small and medium-sized businesses. However, as I looked in, my academic background is not finance. My academic background is focused on information systems and supply chain. So that's what I tend to study. So employee ownership, as I'm looking at it, is not an idea I study. So I looked into a typical book that is used in our Introduction to Corporation Finance, and this is the book that all of our business students take, every single one of them, regardless of the major, and there's not one mention of employee ownership, not one. Looked at a book that's targeted to intermediate finance students, and there was a single chapter on ESOPs. There was no mention of employee cooperatives and employee ownership trust, and one of those 1% case studies that you talked about was a case study on an ESOP failure. Okay, that really helps there. So the curriculum is ignoring this particular topic, but I see that it holds the potential of increasing awareness for that next leader of businesses today. So there is a considerable gap. UNI is committed to working with other academic leaders in the employee ownership space to develop broad-based solutions and curriculum to support that. In our discussions concerning a student entrepreneur who designed her business to work and engage and equip young women for their futures, a Deloitte partner on my advisory board shared his belief that there is nothing more philanthropic than providing a person a job. We have many retiring business owners who want to ensure that their employees keep their jobs. We have ideas about how to do that. So our mission at the University of Northern Iowa is to provide the outreach, the research, and the curriculum to ensure that employee ownership is an effective tool for doing just that. So thank you.